Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. I am going to be reviewing The Mandalorian Episode 8, The Redemption. Or is it just Redemption? Anywho, small minor detail, not important, except for that it's the title. Moving on. I actually gotta say I liked this episode. Acting on the Imperial Moff's behalf, for some reason, Giancarlo Esposito, I'm just not feeling him as an actor. But then again, he is only playing a character, so... yeah, it's just... I'm trying to wrap my head around why this guy just doesn't come across as nice, or as good acting. It was really stiff, this character, and apparently that's probably what he perceives as a Moff, but I'm also taking into account that this was the same guy that said there were going to be political messaging in The Mandalorian. And if this is the case, I didn't really hear much of that in this episode, so whatever. I didn't see any anti-Trump sentiment or anything like that, so there's definitely none of that in this. This is a show that was completely without agenda as far as I'm concerned. The Mandalorian was backed into a corner. The IG unit came in. Now, there's probably going to be some people that are going to say, this promotes violence against children and whatnot. To any SJWs that are going to try to ruin this show, shut your damn holes. Those were Imperials. They're evil. They're going to do stupid things. They're going to hit animals, or what they perceive to be animals. They're going to hit kids. They're going to shoot kids. That's what the imps did in Star Wars. They were evil. Now, I do like the scout troopers, how they were being kind of stupid and whatnot. You just want to see it. This dude just wiped out a bunch of Imperials. Do you really want to get on his bad side? Stuff like that. The little dialogue between the two Imperial scout troopers, that was funny, and it's true to Taika Waititi's fashion. So yeah, props to Taika Waititi in this product that he helped direct. Now, the Moff Gideon guy, it does leave a small question open. If Rebels is part of canon, when did he get the Darksaber? So yes, there are spoilers, folks. When did he get the Darksaber? Because that is what I'm wondering. I know that, what's her name, Sabine, or whatever, in, Rebels had the Darksaber. So is Rebels no longer canon? Like, I want to know. Anybody down in the chat, or down in the comments, let me know. Did Rebels get decanonized? Because if it didn't, it's suggested that years after Return of the Jedi, Sabine still had the Darksaber. So yeah. Anyway, moving on to further review. I really did enjoy this episode. It showed... It continues to establish that Baby Yoda is not a Gary Stu, which is the male version of Mary Sue. Every time he uses the Force, he slumps back or gets really, really tired. I like how they established in this show, they actually mentioned the Jedi. Also, we finally get to see Pablo Pascal's face, which is pretty cool. And technically, he didn't break the creed of this particular clan, where if you remove your helmet, it's forbidden and whatnot. It sucks that the other Mandalorians had to. I also liked the female Mandalorian, the armorer. I like how she fought, and she fought good. I mean, that was some great work, choreography and whatnot. She was brutally efficient, and much respect to that character. She was very well done. I mean, there's very little issues I have with this episode. I mean, except for a little bit of campiness with the shock troopers, but that's Taika Waititi's fashion. He knows when to get, he knows when to get serious and when to get, or when to let a little levity go. And I mean, there's not really too much of an issue, so I will take that back. He knows when it's good to have some levity, when it's good to have some seriousness and whatnot. So I will say that that is something that he does very well. Now, do I believe, or does that mean I actually like Taika Waititi as a person? His directing talent can't be disputed. His personal character is questionable. I've already reported on this, so that's all I'm going to say. Leave it, or that's where I'm going to leave that. So, moving on to objective. Cinematography was good. Acting was good. Writing, good, for the most part. Directing, very well done. Score was good. Special effects were very well done. The R2 unit ferry droid with arms and legs, but with an R2 body. Interesting, but because it's new, it kind of gives you a different look of a droid, and so it's like, I'm not sure what to make of it, but it's still good. I'm going to miss IG-11. He was a good nurse hunter droid thingy that Queel, the Ugnaught I Have Spoken guy, reprogrammed. Rip Queel, by the way. He died in episode 7, which sucks because I actually liked him. I got a picture of him that I've basically am turning into a bunch of memes. But yeah. It sucks that he died, but the Mando gave him a good burial, which was fitting. The Mando got his jetpack, which is awesome. And I like how the armor has basically given her wisdom to the Mandalorian, or to the Mando. His name is Din Djarin. It's like, okay, so we finally have a name to the Mando. That's cool. I really enjoyed this episode. It gave a lot to the lore of Star Wars, and it also showed respect in ways to Star Wars that needs to be shown. Now, with the plot hole of what became, or why Gideon has the Darksaber, well, I guess we're going to find that out in Season 2 because he lives. He lives in his TIE Fighter, or he walks away from his TIE Fighter crash at the end, and I'm like, okay. But yeah, when he starts burning through that TIE Fighter and I see that very recognizable blade of the Darksaber, I'm like, that's where a bunch of bells went off. I'm like, hold on, time out. Did they decanonize Rebels? Because if they did, well then, okay, this makes sense. If they didn't, well, I'd still like to know how this guy got his hands on the Darksaber. Last we knew, if they decanonized Rebels, last we knew Maul had it. If they didn't decanonize Rebels, when did this guy kill Sabine, and when was exactly the end of Rebels taking place? Because they were talking about the Death Star, or the second Death Star being blown up and whatnot. So I would like a timeline that explains all this, you know? So yes, objectively, I will give this a 4.5 out of 5, objectively. Subjectively, I will give this a 5 out of 5. This episode was well done. There was none of that political messaging that Giancarlo Esposito said there was going to be, so that's good. Because I really don't care about the actors and their politics, I just care about their acting skill, you know? We don't want agendas in shows, and I am happy that The Mandalorian did a full season without agenda. Yes, a lot of people can say that there was identity politics from, I think, the 4th episode. I don't agree there. I mean, sure, Bryce Dallas Howard tried doing the whole thing on Twitter. Look at all these strong women and whatnot. No. Sorry, folks. That didn't bleed over into the show. But anyway, subjectively, yes, 5 out of 5. Showgoer, if you are into Star Wars, and if you like The Mandalorian, if you like this new stuff of Star Wars, you will. I'll give this a solid 4 to 5. Well, not solid. So 4.5 out of 5. 4.5 out of 5 is good for the show. I mean, just to leave a little bit of questioning in there and whatnot. So yes, for the showgoer, I will give it a 4.5 out of 5. Anyway, folks, that is the video. Y'all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. We got a few more days left to 2019. If you can, please share my content. Like these videos. Go back through some of my older videos if you can. Like them. View them. It helps get my channel out there. I'm trying to get to 300. I'm like 33 away from 300 subscribers. I'd love to hit that milestone before midnight on New Year's. So if you can, please help me out. It would mean the world to me, and I would be forever grateful to all of you. I love and respect all of my subscribers. Every single one of you. And I am very happy that you have helped me push this content as far as I have. And I can only get better at what I do because of you guys. Anyway, folks, that is the video. This has been Orange Hat Reviews. Catch y'all on the next one.